Howdy folks, and welcome back to this Let's Play of Stellaris. Firstly, my apologies for not having published a video earlier today. Unfortunately I had some issues with my machine yesterday, so for some reason I couldn't get the audio to work on there. So as part of that, unfortunately we're going to have to roll back one of our save games. As you can see, the latest save game is listed here at the top. That's not the one we're going to go roll back to. We're going to actually go back to the one that was the episode before. So if I'm not mistaken, that's this one here. So we have still got the same situation, and we're gonna load the game. So as you can see at the moment, we are still at war with our adversaries, and of course our adversaries are based here. I've still got my two different fleets here. I've got one fleet here operating in an enemy territory to try to occupy their planet, and I've got another fleet here, which I really should be sending after this little fleet here. Yeah, so this one here should be chasing this little fleet here to kick them away from that planet. The reason I want to kick them away from the planet because I want to make sure, of course, I maintain that planet itself. So where have I got armies? I've got armies in various different locations. So let's find. I shouldn't have double clicked on there. I've got one set of armies here. Actually, why don't I just conquer that planet here first? That might as well be done. Okay, I'm occupying that planet at the moment. Ah, okay. Hold on. So I'm conquering the planet. So let's stick with that for the moment. Let's make sure we can keep this going. And of course, then we basically got another message from the black hole that Demon's Mole is active. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're basically going to send that particular person into there. Okay. Perfect. That should make it relatively safe, at least. We have conquered the planet already, so what am I saying? I could actually send the fleet out now if I wanted to. I'm going to do that. I'm going to send them after this fleet here. And of course, what I got in terms of armies there. Oops. So what I've got in terms of armies there, I can maybe just embark again and send them en route towards the next destination. So look where the other armies are. What happened? Okay. So for some reason when I clicked in the wrong place, my taskbar popped up and I just got minimized. Anyways, we got this army here. And that planet is here. Should I embark them? I'm not sure. Where's this fleet? Or this unit here? They're on the planet. Okay. Let's embark these. I'll do the same with all these other relatively small ones. And what I'll do, I'll basically send them down south to basically jointly form an invasionary fleet over there to deal with those newer guys that we got further down south. Well, newer guys. Basically, they're still the same guys as before. The only key difference is that, of course, they are... yeah, I haven't actually conquered any of their planets as of yet. So I'm going to select all of these. Select them one at a time, as you can see. I'm going to send them over to that system here. Alright, this will be the end of me, Dina Oliveira says, as the briefing before launch. I know I won't come back, but I think I always knew this would happen. Whatever's in the black hole has been waiting for us for a long, long time. I think it's been waiting for me since before I was born. Once again, the single pilot ship approaches the exit point, and once again space boils like a fever. Again, our sensor array soaks up fascinating data, and this time Dina Olivieri is silent. The telemetry becomes intermittent, and then it too is silent. The ship has reached the exit point, and the conditions around it are returning to normal. Nothing has happened. Nothing? The monitoring team mutters furiously. The ship is different. In fact, it's a different ship. It's Simon Laurent's ship. Lost these years past, drifting now away from the exit point, and the salvage team finds it pristine and empty. No trace of the crew and no sign of violence, but there is a journal entry in Simon Laurent's name, titled, "What Was Will Be." Our scientists review it nervously. "Impossible," one says. "I hope so," says the other. And the ship is renamed the Foundling and returned to service. The signal, dead or sleeping, says nothing at all ever again. Okay, so we basically get a new research option in terms of the top one here, which is physics, called entropic recursion. Cool. So I'm basically going to be merging these invasionary fleets, these armies, into a new one, which I'm going to try to send to this planet here. Okay, so I'm bombing this planet at the moment. All the fortifications are gone. I'm going to try to deal with these home defense armies. Okay, so new ship that we got at our disposal is the Foundling. I will pick up that ship. I'm going to send it back to my home world. I think that's this one here. Farah. I'm going to send it into orbit. The other science ships I got, where are they? This one is here. Okay. I do have some research projects here, so that's good. Got more research projects here as well. Let's just double check that I got nothing that I'm not tracking yet, so that's good. Okay. Perfect. Let's first off send that ship, this one here, over to this planet here. And then from there we'll basically take it onto the next location. To jump to the next system from there. So we're standing at 57%, as you can see. Pretty good score, I'd say. But we need a higher score to be able to actually bring this war to an end.
Construction
so that is an enemy fleet that came into this system here, briefly. We are now engaging that fleet over this planet here.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Okay, so in the meantime I can actually send that science ship in here. Send it actually in here. No, they're trying to engage us, but in the meantime they were destroyed already. So we didn't suffer... Did we actually suffer any damage? Yeah, we did suffer some damage. Minimal though. Hull and armor damage. Most was absorbed by our shields. That's good.
Construction.
In the meantime, of course, there is still an enemy fleet traveling through my terrain in the south. They're on to the next planet, or next system, I should maybe say. Looks like it's 2 battleships and maybe 2... Actually, I don't know, look on the left side. It's 2 battleships and 2 corvettes. In itself, battleships can actually be quite powerful. They haven't actually dealt any damage to me, which is good. And unfortunately, this trade deal has come to an end, so we had a science trade deal here. I'm going to give them some instant energy. There we go. Confirming that. Enemy fleet is back in the system here. So this one's expired. We dealt with it. The Oscox we had a similar deal with. They are, of course, our subjects. I'm going to offer them a trade deal again. Let's do credit again. Energy credit.
Construction complete.
Right, they don't want energy, which is fine. Instantly transfer.
Debris analyzed.
Hyper shields. Interesting. So that one's expired. We dealt with it. And now this one here is with the military dictatorship here. Alright, let's deal them, or make them this offer here. Energy, and we're going to offer them. There we go. They should really accept that. Yeah, as you can see, that's expired. We've got replacement deals in place now for the next 30 years. Let's keep an eye on this fleet here, where it goes. I like the shape of them though. Ta-da! Moving, moving, and kabam in system. Question is, are they going to engage here? Okay, let's pick up all these fleet units here and merge them into one. Okay, they're all merging. It's not necessarily a fleet, well, it's a fleet of transports. So yeah, it is a fleet.
Debris analyzed.
Good. I'm going to go to that planet here. And over that planet here, I'm actually going to enter orbit first.
Research complete.
And of course we finished some research. It's the advanced afterburners. Next one I'm going to go for should be the kinetic battery, which is relatively quick one. I'm not saying it is a quick one, I'm just saying it's a relatively quick one. But there's still quite a bit of work to be done on that one as well. Research points. We finished the research items here, it looks like. Can I send it to auto explore
Evading
again?
hostile fleet.
Yep, there's a
Station
few
under
systems that I
attack.
couldn't actually
Debris
explore earlier, which I
analyzed.
can now explore, which is good. Taking that station here, looks like. The question is, will I be able to take them out or not? Or will they take my
Research
station out?
complete.
It actually does look like I'm going to be able to take them out, because I took out their shields now. There's a couple there. They're only now starting to do some damage to me, but as you can see, I'm quite easily absorbing most of that damage. Ooh! The Loop Temple. Signs in the stone. Archaeologists have found a forgotten temple in the remote highlands of Fara. Buried for centuries, but recently exposed by an earthquake. Dating techniques suggest it's a pre-industrial relic, hand-hewn from volcanic rock. However, the recurring symbol on the walls and radio altar, a Mobius loop serpent consuming the own tail, has no obvious precedent in our early history, and the inscriptions used are an unknown alphabet. One excitable archaeologist suggests it's a relic left by an unknown precursor race. In a presumably meaningless coincidence, the quake seems to have occurred at the same time as the final signal from the black hole in Demon's Maw. And of course this will merit some study.
Situation
Let's invest a little bit into there. I'm just going to put this research project into here. Good. We finished the research at this point. What's the next one we want to focus in on, really? Do I want to go for the cloning valves? Or atmospheric manipulation? Let's go and pick up that atmospheric manipulation. Should be a really quick one. As you can see, we're still engaged in the battle. That corvette is about to be destroyed, and that leaves them the two battleships. Now, the battleships do seem to have fighters on there. As you can see, I'm actually able to zoom in on these. I'm able to see them. Yeah. Not sharp fighters though. Okay. Should, in theory, of course, be able to destroy those battleships. Particularly since I got a power of 3,000 versus their. And we got 2 ships left. So you can see the hull damage that's being incurred. Pretty sure I will win. The thing is, it's not, basically focusing the damage on a single ship. It's spreading it across the two. One battleship is down. That leaves only one remaining. That of course means that only half the fighters.
Situation log updated.
And as you can see, it then switches over to a healing mode, so the fortress actually heals itself up once again. Alright, let me just research the debris there. In this system itself, of course, I should be able to land my armies now. And as we look at the surface here, there we go. Limited ground support.
Special project complete.
So, our scientists have learned a great deal about the subterranean temple, but some questions remain. A roof aperture along with the radial altar suggested it was once a solar calendar, but it's so badly damaged by the earthquake that we cannot be certain. If the builders found particular dates important, we'd never know which ones. We've had better luck with the unknown alphabet. It's a debased variant of a better known heretic script. Not an alien language at all, and we've successfully deciphered it. The temple is dedicated to the waiting worm, or the worm in waiting. Most of the inscriptions are sonorous, poetic invocations requesting its appearance, or if read in the other direction, its departure. There's also a body of inscriptions describing the operation of the universe, which our most excitable archaeologists swear contains references to advanced field equations. Nothing new to us, but very impressive for a temple of this vintage. We have yet to find a physicist who's prepared to go on record as agreeing that the references are meaningful though. The temple holds no cosmic secrets or alien weapons, as far as we can tell. But its dark spaces have a distinct, menacing beauty, and the poetry of the invocations to the worm in waiting becomes fashionable. They are set to popular music. They are published in collections. Alright, so there's actually three things we can do. Firstly, there's something wrong here. Show leadership by seating the temple. Okay, that's one thing. Reserve the temple for the academic study only, or we can open it for the public, which actually increases happiness. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm opening it for the public. Alright, our invasion seems to be progressing quite nicely. The enemy seems to be suffering more damage than I'm actually suffering myself, which is great. Ooh. The ISS program name is being hailed by the Sisagi of Digital Realm. This despite the fact that it isn't sending any ID codes we recognize, and no ship of that name has ever been commissioned. The Sechigi commanding officer claims to be Captain Hafarim. Our admiral of that name is alive, well and elsewhere. Or this must be an ambush. So let's actually go and talk to him or her. The captain has appeared on our screen is clearly Hafarim, but a scarred, haunted, decrepit, wrecked edition of Hafarim. Face glossy with plasma burns and older, much older. The bridge in the background looks just as scarred and just as decrepit, but the captain's voice is firm and clear. What's happened here? Are you really Hafarim? Or if you want to end, why wait? Our warship is is on its way to die. What is the loop? Actually, there's various different questions we can ask. Surrender. Whatever you've done, we can help you. Okay, so I'm going to ask, what is the loop? The loop is what comes first, and what comes next, the worm in waiting. So that should now give me a story there. Yep. The captain begins to gesture futilely. Then the loop is its monster, or its maker. No, I can't explain it. And we'll never know more. You did in my past. Weapons locked? Question. Right, so I'm going to just posing the next question, which should have given me points here. Yep, it did. Don't you remember? Of course you don't. Yet, you might not now. Not if you do it right. The loop needs its sacrifice, and it needs them just so. An agonizing coughing chuckle. You don't want to trifle with the loop. What's happening here? Are you really Hafarim? So I can actually pose the next question. Am I? Are you the same Neo d'Italia who you were last year? Every day is death, and every future is a choice. Time is a labyrinth, not a road. A chuckle. It sounds like the chuckle hurts. Ask the loop. Alright, I'm basically proposing that they can actually get around that issue. Okay, battle stations is the last word. Too late. Alright, so let's see. Interesting, of course.
Situation log updated.
Where is this? It's over here. And they're basically trying to engage our battle station. So I'm pretty sure that won't work.
Evading hostile fleet.
Them engaging our battle station, but let's see.
System survey complete.
The question is, will they be engaging our battle station?
Enemy planet secured. Evading hostile fleet.
Hovering here, isn't it?
Evading hostile fleet. Research complete.
No movement whatsoever. Okay, let's have a look at this research project that we completed here. Ooh, leader enhancement capacity boosters. Look at that. Leader experience gains 50%. Leader lifespan plus 50 years. Leader recruitment cost is increased substantially though. I think that's a nice and very, very favorable one to go for. And actually those purple ones, of course, are rare, so you don't come across those every day. So I'll go with that particular one. Let's have a look. Where is our current invasion? Here. Are we actually winning? It looks like we have won. So we stand at 70. Sorry about that. For some reason, it basically just clicked back to Windows again. Anyways, we stand at 77%, so I'm going to basically try to see what I can do in terms of talking to them.
Evading
Yeah, that seems to be favorable. So if I start negotiating, Let's see what we can actually do. Can I get all these targets fulfilled? Nope. I'm still basically need a little bit more. Not much, but a little bit more. So after I basically finish this invasion here, okay, so let's have a look at that fleet that we got here. This fleet, I can actually split off a few ships, I would say. Ooh, incoming transmission. Victory against the Trebran star regime. We admit defeat, but do not think this is anything more than a temporary setback for the Neo-Digitali Trebran war. Okay, the best possible outcome, of course. So all of our goals have been met, which is great. We got some unemployment. The Star Nation, formerly known as the Trebran star regime, has been destroyed by its enemies. How this will affect the political climate of the galaxy remains to be seen. Right, let's pause the game for a second. So if I look up here, wow, massive new chunk of terrain that we got in our hands. Now I do need to pick up all of our fleets here. So we got a few new planets in our hands as well. So what I actually want to do, I want to basically merge all these fleets into one first off. Okay. This one, let's have a look. This one is actually one of those new planets that we basically gained. Mag, whatever it's called, Mag Severum. This one here. Yeah, we got an army on there already. So this one here, I'm going to send that army fleet to... Sorry, maybe I should have gone to that planet first. This one here. Reason being is because at the moment, if I look at the surface, we will see that these are all slaves. So we enslave the population here. Now, a slave population, of course, will rise up if there's too many of those slaves on one planet. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to send occupying forces here. Entering the orbit. And hopefully that will help us quite substantially. Okay, the same one keeps on repeating time and time again. So we got the victory conditions, successful invasion, etc., etc. Yeah, perfect. Now this fleet itself, we can actually, of course, now send out. Let's send it back to our home system here. Or should we send it to our other systems here? We still got lots of choices about what we want to do, what we can do. I'm going to basically, for the moment, just send it into one of my orbits here. Okay. Got an extra colony ship here as well, which I can actually send out to, let's say, this planet here. Let's colonize this planet here. Otherwise, I'm just keeping that colony ship, which is, again, taking up resources. So I'm just going to basically send it over to that planet to basically take over that planet and basically build up whatever I can build up over there. In the meantime, of course, that military fleet, is that the one here? Yeah, I should maybe have sent that to that system there. This one here. So I'm actually going to send it at that ship here to see what we can do there to deal with them, or that former admiral. And of course, I have got various different construction ships here. And I basically want to use those ships to basically rebuild that which has been destroyed. So mining stations, of course I've got other things here as well. More mining stations. Anything else up here that was destroyed? Just double checking. No, it doesn't seem to have anything there. Of course down here there is stuff that's been destroyed as well. So I'm going to send that up to basically be repaired. Okay, anything over here? Yes. Mining stations, research stations, mining stations. Yeah, so there's a whole laundry list of different things that we basically need to bring back up to speed, which again is fine. Just need to get it done. More research stations down here as well. Perfect. Perfect. Anyways, that second fleet of ours, we are going to send it back to one of our systems for repair. This planet here, we have now got control of that planet. Right, it's not a planet, this is the planet here I'm talking about. Right, that's my alarm going off. So in the meantime, it's about time for us to call it a day, so it's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to basically save away the game now, and basically we're going to carry on in the next episode from this particular episode onwards, or from this number onwards. In the meantime, thanks again for watching, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, bye.